Listen to the rhythmic thud of your own heart. That sound is not a guarantee. It is a ticking clock, a relentless countdown in a universe that does not know your name and does not care for your survival. You have spent years walking through the valley of your own insecurities, casting your eyes upward, searching for a sign, a glimmer of light, a celestial hand to pull you from the mire of your own mediocrity. You have been told that if you are good, if you are faithful, if you believe hard enough, the universe will conspire to help you. I am here to tell you that this is the most dangerous lie ever whispered into the ear of a human being. It is a sedative for the soul, a spiritual morphine that keeps you numb while your potential bleeds out in the dirt. When Miyamoto Musashi sat down to write the Dokkodo, he was not a man of comfort. He was a man of scars, a ronin who had looked into the eyes of death more times than you have looked into a mirror. When he commanded us to respect the gods, but never count on their help, he was handing us the keys to the only true kingdom, the kingdom of the self-sovereign mind. Look at the modern world, a breeding ground for the professional victim. We have become a civilization of beggars, not for bread, but for validation, for luck, and for divine intervention. You find yourself in a crisis. Your business is failing. Your relationship is a smoking ruin. Your body is softening into a cage of lethargy. And what is your first instinct? You retreat into the hope that things will change. You pray for a miracle. But hope is not a strategy. Hope is the white flag of a mind that has already surrendered. When you count on the help of the gods, you are implicitly stating that you are not enough. You are declaring your own bankruptcy of will. You are saying to the cosmos, I am a broken tool, incapable of carving my own destiny, so please do it for me. This is the ultimate betrayal of the human spirit. The gods did not give you a mind so that you could let it atrophy in a state of perpetual supplication. They gave you a mind to be a blade, a heart to be a furnace, and a will to be an unstoppable force of nature. If you are waiting for a savior, look in the mirror and realize that the person staring back at you is either your only hope or your greatest executioner. The transition from a victim to a warrior begins with a cold, hard realization. The silence of the gods is not an abandonment. It is a test. It is the silence of a master teacher watching a student solve the most difficult problem of their life. If the teacher speaks, the lesson is lost. If the gods intervene, your strength is stolen. Every time you face a wall and find no door, every time you are submerged in the freezing waters of failure and find no life raft, that is the universe demanding to know. Who are you when the lights go out? Who are you when the prayers go unanswered? The world is not a playground. It is a forge. And in a forge, there is no place for softness. Softness is burned away. Only the iron survives the heat. You must learn to love the heat. You must learn to crave the friction. Most people run from pain. The steel mind runs toward it, knowing that pain is the only currency that buys true growth. You have been running from your discomfort for so long that you have forgotten how to breathe in the middle of a storm. You want the crown without the thorns, the victory without the scars, the steel without the fire. It does not exist. Think about the metal of a legendary sword. It starts as raw ore, buried in the dark, heavy earth, just like the latent potential buried inside your current frustration. It is dug out, smashed, and thrown into a furnace where the temperature is high enough to melt bone. It is not asked if it is ready. It is forced to transform. Then comes the hammer. Each strike is a disaster for the metal. Each blow is a trauma. If the metal could feel, it would scream to the gods for mercy. It would beg for the striking to stop. But if the hammer stops, the sword is never born. It remains a useless, shapeless lump of iron. You are that metal. Your failures, your heartbreaks, your late nights of crushing loneliness, those are the hammer blows. When you pray for the pain to stop, you are praying for your own obsolescence. You are asking the universe to stop making you great. Respect the gods for providing the forge, but do not ask them to hold the hammer. You hold the hammer. You are both the smith and the steel. You must strike yourself into a shape that can cut through the obstacles of this world. We live in an age of safety nets, but those nets have become webs that trap our ambition. You are told you need support systems, safe spaces, and positive affirmations. While these have their place, they have been weaponized to make you fragile. True resilience is built in the absence of support. It is built when you are the only one who believes in your vision. It is built when you are shivering in the cold, and you have to generate your own heat from the fire of your discipline. This is the unique edge of the steel mind. We do not seek light at the end of the tunnel. We become the light. We do not wait for the sun to rise. We burn so bright that the darkness is forced to retreat. This is not motivational fluff. This is the biological and psychological reality of human excellence. Your brain is wired to adapt to stress. If you remove the stress by seeking help, you stop the adaptation. You remain a child in a man's body. Musashi knew this. He lived in the void, a state of mind where there is no self to be hurt, no ego to be offended, and no God to be blamed. There is only the action. There's only the cut. Let us dismantle the victim mentality that has been colonizing your thoughts. The victim asks, "Why is this happening to me?" The warrior asks, "What can I do with this?" The victim sees a mountain and sees an obstacle. The warrior sees a mountain and sees a training ground. The victim waits for the right time, for the right signs, for the alignment of the stars. The warrior knows that the only right time is now, and the only sign he needs is the blood pumping through his veins. You have been waiting for permission to be great. You have been waiting for a divine go signal. Stop waiting. The gods are not your supervisors. They are the spectators of your glory. If you want to honor them, do not do it by kneeling in the dirt and begging. Do it by standing on the mountain of your achievements, built by your own hands, and showing them what a human being is capable of when they stop counting on help. This is the highest form of worship, to use the gifts of life and consciousness to their absolute terrifying limit. Every morning, you have a choice. You can wake up and resume your role as a beggar in the kingdom of chance, or you can wake up and assume your role as the commander of your destiny. This requires a level of discipline that would make most people weep. It means doing the work when you are exhausted. It means staying silent when everyone else is complaining. It means taking the blame for your failures even when luck played a part. If you blame luck for your failures, you must also give luck the credit for your successes, and a steel mind gives credit to no one but the work. I am the master of my silence. I am the architect of my pain. I am the sole proprietor of my victory. When you say these words, they shouldn't just be sounds. They should be the clang of a metal gate closing on your old, weak self.
The path of Rule 19 is a lonely one. Most people cannot handle the weight of total responsibility. They need the comfort of a plan from above. They need the reason why things go wrong. But you, if you are listening to this, you are not most people. You are the remnant, the few who understand that the only meaning in life is the meaning you forge with your own hands. There is a terrifying beauty in being alone in the arena. When there is no one to help you, there is no one to hold you back. Your limits are no longer defined by your destiny, but by your endurance. If you can endure more than your opponent, you win. If you can endure more than your environment, you survive. If you can endure more than your own doubts, you become a legend. This is the alchemy of the steel mind, turning the lead of suffering into the gold of character. Now, look forward. What is the challenge you are facing right now? Is it a debt? Is it a loss? Is it a crushing sense of inadequacy? Whatever it is, stop treating it as a problem to be solved by prayer. Treat it as a sparring partner. The gods have sent you this opponent not to destroy you, but to see if you have the spirit to fight. Respect the challenge. Respect the difficulty. But do not expect the opponent to go easy on you because you asked nicely. Pick up your sword. Sharpen your focus. The time for whispering is over. The time for the roar of action has begun. You do not need a miracle to win. You need a system. You need a routine. You need a savage, unrelenting commitment to the process. The process is the only God that always answers. If you put in the reps, the muscles will grow. If you put in the hours, the skill will sharpen. If you put in the discipline, the mind will become steel. In the final moments of your life, when the breath is leaving your lungs and the silence of the heavens finally becomes absolute, what will you say? Will you look back and see a life spent waiting for a help that never came? Or will you look back at a trail of broken obstacles, conquered fears, and a self that was built, layer by layer, through the sheer force of will? The gods will not judge you by how many times you knelt. They will judge you by how many times you stood up after being knocked down. They will respect the man who respected himself enough to not need them. This is the call to arms. This is the end of your dependency. From this second forward, you are a sovereign entity. You are the fire that refuses to be extinguished. You are the rock that the waves break against. You are the storm that makes the world tremble. No more excuses. No more why me. No more if only. There is only the work, the steel, and the silence. Go out into the world and make the gods proud by showing them that they created something that can survive without them. Subscribe to Steel Mind to forge your will. Stay steel. Become the sovereign.